G'day Bomber fans, mid-season draft done and dusted. We've added 4 new players to our list, 4 season-ending injuries, 4 new Bombers come in. But there is a bit of controversy, but there's room for a discussion with these pickups, because it wasn't what many expected it to be. But as I spoke about with Fiona just before, I'm recording this literally a minute after we stopped chatting there, by the way. If you want a longer discussion about each individual pick and the vibes as a whole, go check out Bomber Banter's live from last night. It was good fun. But yeah, as we spoke about, maybe there is method to, I guess, the madness. So here is a little review of last night's events. Really interesting haul. 4 new players to talk about. So let's get right into it. Okay, with pick 6 in the 2025 mid-season draft, Essendon picked up Archer May. If you know the channel, you would know that this is the bloke I wanted the most. I did a mock draft and I also took him at pick 6. So when he slid down to us and his name was read out, I was a very happy Essendon fan. Archer May is 198 centimetres, key forward. He's really well built. He looks like he was sculpted. Muscles upon muscles. He is a specimen. And I guess the good thing is that, it isn't just for show. He's a very tough competitor, very strong and tough at the contest. Throws his body around, bashes into point posts, gets right back up. He's athletic. His profile's fantastic, but it's his attitude that's impressed me most when I've watched him. And I guess if you want a more footy-based profile on him, he's a great overhead mark. He's really confident in his marking ability. He rarely drops anything. I think if you had to focus on the 2 things that make May the player he is, it is his strong, grippy hands, his marking awareness, and also just his strength. And the good thing about May is that he plays to his strengths, but his weaknesses aren't really glaring for his position. Maybe he's not as quick as other forwards, but he isn't really that athletic, mobile type of forward. He's not Nate Caddy. We brought him in to give us more strength and danger inside forward 50. He's not going to push up the field like Caddy. He's going to be a more stay-at-home type, lead out the goal square. He's going to do his damage around the forward 50, and that is why I think he is such a perfect fit for the club, because he is something very different to what we have right now at that age. He can definitely blend into a forward line with Caddy, with Kako. He's only 20, so he's got time as well. He's got so much time to develop, but he's also got a ready-made body. I think this is a great pick. He's not the 6th best in the draft like the pick says he is. He's second or third. I think North should have taken him. Some of their fans think they should have taken him. We got him instead. Unfortunately for him, he's also a lifelong Pies fan, and they were really keen on him behind us. So we lucked out a bit. They didn't. But no, I'm not complaining. I think Archer May he could be a really good footballer. I'm stoked to have him on the list. He's the one of the 4 that I think we should be really excited about, which is why he was taken first. But no, I really wanted him. We end up getting him, which is always a good feeling in a draft, even if it's a mid-season draft. So I'm very happy. I might do an individual profile on May if I have the time, because I think there's a lot to talk about with this guy. But unfortunately, I just don't have the time because we've got 3 more other players to talk about. Our next pick, pick 13, we went and brought in a ruck to replace Draper and Bryan for the year. But I also think there is more to it with this one. So Lachlan Blakiston, athletic ruck, 203 centimetres, 26 years old. I personally think Ollie Eastland is a better ruck and a better replacement for the year while we wait for Draper and Bryan to return. But I think if we're looking towards the future, which, it makes sense given what we did with this draft, I think it would make it's more logical to bring in a depth option in Blakiston, who may not be as good a one-on-one ruck as Eastland or Crossley, but at least he has versatility in his roles. He's been both the main and dual ruck for East Fremantle in the last 2 years. He's developed really quickly. 2 years ago, he was in the reserves, not even playing senior footy. Now he's a star in the waffle. The way I look at it, if we wanted a ruck for the year, Ollie Eastland was the perfect shout. If we wanted a ruck that we can keep on our list in the next few years just for depth, Blakiston makes a lot more sense. He's not going to set the world alight. He's not going to be that all-Australian Max Gawn type ruck. He's going to be that Andrew Phillips type. He'll come in every few games, play if we need him. And also, I think it's important to note that he's looked good in a dual ruck setup, which I can't say the same for Eastland and Crossley. This guy can sit behind the ball. He can fill a gap while Goldie or Vigo ruck up the field. He's ready-made. He can play next week if we need him to. So as soon as Goldie goes down, as soon as he's sore or needs a rest, this guy's ready. And even when he doesn't, he gives Vigo time to hone in on his craft up forward or maybe down back. Vigo was training down back in the preseason. Maybe Blakiston coming to the team unlocks that as a move to replace Mackay in the next few weeks. So yeah, there's more versatility here with Blakiston than there would have been with Eastland. If we're replacing, Draper for the year, Eastland makes more sense. If we want to keep someone on our list for longer, I think, yeah, this guy makes more sense for that. And I think we'll probably hear his name called out on the team sheet for a debut in the next few weeks. I think he's going to play this year. Next up, pick 17, close to home here, Oskar Smartt. And this is a funky one. So I didn't think we'd be taking a non-key positional player. But if we did, I thought it would be maybe someone in the defensive half. Instead, we bring in Oskar Smartt from our VFL, which is a really interesting move. One that I will happily deal with because I really like Smartt. He's a fun bloke, and I've said for a while that this guy deserves to play AFL footy. He's good enough. He's promising enough. I didn't think we'd be the club to give him a chance. I thought that I'd have to be cheering him on in other colours. But I think this again proves that, we're looking to the future. We're building this list for the future under Rosa. He's picking the players he wants to pick now. And Oskar Smartt, to put it simply, when he plays in our VFL team, he outshines the AFL listed forwards that we have. I think he comes in and leapfrogs Davey, Unwin, maybe even Menzies. The question is, do we need more small forwards with Hussein and Swade on the way? Probably not. But I can see this guy playing with Kako, playing with Caddy, playing with Huss. I think he fits our system. I think he fits our age. He's 19. He's still so young. Really, I think he's a country bloke. I could be wrong there, but I think he was playing for Vic Country a few years ago. He's kind of like Menzies, but more rounded. He's super energetic, little Energizer bunny, really crafty, loves a goal, loves setting up goals for his teammates, really team-orientated. He's a pest to opponents, but a joy for a teammate. He's just a very fun player and a fun bloke. Is he what we need? Probably not. I'm not sold by this pickup, at least the timing of it. But in a few years, we might look back on this and understand it. And that's what, Rosa will be hoping for, at least. He's kind of, saying out with Dodoro's small forwards, in with mine. So yeah, Oskar Smartt joins our AFL from our VFL. If you've seen him play, you probably like him. And if you haven't, I think you'll grow to like him pretty soon. So yeah, it means that we also, by the way, on Friday in the VFL, have Oskar Smartt, Jai Menzies, Alan Davey Jr., Reece Unwin, and Hussein Carr playing against the Lions. Hussein is making his debut in the VFL, so get around that. That should be a fun game to watch. Too bad it's at, I think, like a 12 in the afternoon or something. And our last pick, Liam McMahon. This one really surprised me. I thought this is where we pick up a key defender. I did not think we'd be bringing in two key forwards, but here we are. And look, maybe it's a throw at the darts, and seeing what sticks. May and McMahon both come in, 198 centimetres, key forwards. But they are very different types of players. McMahon is leaner. He's more of that high IQ, crafty key forward. He's not as imposing, but an equally good mark thanks to his leap. His smarts make him a really good option to find on a lead, and he is, I know I say this a lot, but he is very athletic. I think it should also be noted that McMahon has played as a swingman a bit over the years. I didn't know this initially, but I did see him stationed down back in a recent game that I watched of his. So, yeah, maybe there is a role for him reading the footy in our back half in the next few weeks. That isn't out of the question. He's a captain, or he was captain of Carlton's VFL. He was a member of Collingwood's AFL system. He was delisted. But yeah, he's really excelled post that delisting. I think it came from a growth spurt, but his goal scoring, it's unreal. He hasn't kicked under 2 goals in a game since round 22, 2023. That is pretty much 2 whole seasons worth of, games kicking multiple goals. That is unheard of. He's just a reliable state league goal kicker, such a pure goal kicker, as pure as it gets in the state leagues. And that is why he's someone I've talked about a fair bit in a recent video. He's a good age, still under 25, so he can improve. I think it makes sense as a pickup. Does it make sense as a pickup alongside May? Maybe. He's different enough for May for us to bring both in and see how they develop. Would I have liked a key defender? Probably, but from all accounts, this guy's a great bloke, a great leader, and also just a great player to watch. So I think he's someone who could easily play this year. Okay, so our 4 picks: Archer May, Lachlan Blakiston, Oskar Smartt, and Liam McMahon. 2 key forwards, 1 small forward, and a ruck. The big question here is, why did Essendon not draft a key defender? We have 1 available at the moment. We won't have reinforcements until after the bye. Why didn't we take at least 1 key back? And that is a good question. Thank you for asking. I think it's just to show that the club is trying to build the list for the future. I think it made perfect sense for us to draft Charlie McCartan, a defender, bring him in until Mackay returns, and then he just, sits in the VFL. That is what I was expecting. But instead, Rosa and his crew are trying to really hone in on this younger group of players, especially in the forward half, and improve what we have there. I think it's clear that our forward half of the field is the weakest. So what we did was we used this draft as a mini draft, we brought in 4 players, 3 of them young. All of them have upside and can get better, but they can also play this year. I could see all of these guys making a debut at some stage. And maybe the club just didn't like any of the available key backs. We were keen on Harrison Ram, but he was snatched up. Same with Oscar Adams. I just think what we did was take 4 players that could not only play this year, but could be with us in the future as well. And if we brought in Nathan Kruger or Charlie McCartan to fill a hole in the back half, it would work for 4 or 5 games until players are back. And then after that, I guess they're just not needed. We're instead looking to develop young players and grow them into this system, into roles. I think the next month or two, we're going to be really frustrated and question the decision making here. I know I will, and I'm sure the media will too. We're legit playing with Laverty as our only key defender right now. But in 2 to 3 years, if we still have, Archer May, Oskar Smartt, if Blakiston is still there for depth, I think hindsight is a lovely thing. And this draft, we won't know how good it is until maybe 2026, 2027. So if we're struggling down back in the next few weeks, just remember that our plan from this draft was not to improve the team in the short term. This was clearly a long-term approach. And I spoke about this with Fiona. If we took defenders to fill a gap, I would understand. I would understand and I'd say, yep, that is what we were going to do. But the fact that we haven't done that, we've gone out and done, what we didn't expect to do and focused on our forward half of the field, it clearly shows that there is a plan there from Rosa and his crew. They're cooking something. What are they cooking? I don't know. That's a good question. Time will tell. But there's clearly thought behind these actions. And if it's coming from Rosa, I'm happy. He's done nothing but impress me so far. So yeah, am I pleased with this mid-season draft haul? I guess I kind of have to be, because we've got an Archer May. I really like him. I'm really excited about him. I think Liam McMahon is a great goal scorer. Oskar Smartt I've really enjoyed in the VFL. So yeah, I'm probably pleased, but I'm hesitant to say that it's a pass, because so much could go wrong in the next few weeks for me to say, why didn't we just bring in one key defender, But yeah, I think we've got a plan. It's for the future. Is it the plan I like? Yes. But I think we're going to be pretty frustrated in the next few weeks because of it. So yeah, that is that. Just a quick little mid-season draft profile video. Maybe I'll release some individual ones soon. Maybe not. We'll see how much time I have. That is all for now, though. Cheers for watching, guys. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, comment down below. Sorry. As always, go Bombers. I got myself confused there. Go Bombers.